In November of 2010, I met a man from Uruguay who was just finishing his Uruguay por el Mundo, Uruguay around the world trip. He told me about his adventures, and he asked me what it is I wanted to do. I was in Buenos Aires studying tango, and I had been thinking about traveling and teaching, sharing my focus on connection. I had started teaching tango earlier that year. And he said, if money is a problem, why don't you also write and put together booklets of stories about your travels? People like to read that stuff, and you can sell it at hostels along your path. When I started learning tango, I felt inspired to write. Little by little, I learned to give in to my creative impulses. I wrote about my experiences on the dance floor and connections to life. By late January of 2011, I had been writing for almost 2 years, and it occurred to me that I had quite a few of these musings about life. I called them philosophizing. So I decided that I would put them together as a book. Maybe 60 pages, I thought. Well, by August 2011, I had a 200-page book, and that's where the journey began. After releasing my book in August 2011, with overwhelming support from my Seattle family, I shipped 2 boxes of books to my cousin's place in Paris and took a leap of faith. By September, I was lugging books around the continent. I went to visit my aunt in Brussels, and from there, with warm welcomes from friends I had met in Buenos Aires and during my volunteer work in Peru, and even gracious friends of friends, I danced my way through 13 cities in 8 nations over 7 weeks. What I found was that although each place and the people in each place I visited were unique, they were all embracing. They were all dancing tango. I teach tango with the idea that the connection is the most important thing. That if you don't have a connection, you have nothing. And that if you do, you have endless possibilities. Tango is about what is, not what should be. Each tango is unique, and each person brings something exceptional to the dance. Since the tango couple is more than just the sum of its parts, you can't dance tango by yourself. Tango is about the connection with your partner, with those who share the space with you, and with yourself.
And I've taken lots of beginner classes over the last 3 months because I've gotten them from maybe 8 different people. And I just wanted everybody to know that this class is unique.
And awesome.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. But just, if you go to another class somewhere else, don't walk in expecting this approach.
Well, you can always memorize more steps. You know, it's like, I like start from this place of like, well, okay, establish a system of collaboration, partnership, and where you can, you know, play a game together and have some fun together where you're just walking around and having fun. Then it's like,
yeah, it's like what is
so it's like you don't have to memorize a bunch of steps before you can start dancing.
In terms of my dance, I mean, these workshops have opened up, I think, a lot of what the fellows I dance with consider like a good connection, I guess. I basically don't think I would have happened without.
I get my inspiration from my teaching from the dance floor, from my interactions with other dancers, my own process of seeking growth, and of course from some gracious and wise teachers. Now I'm blending my passion for teaching tango and my writing about tango into interactive book events, which are a great opportunity to bring people together from all different avenues and create and celebrate community. When the limits of our bodies become obsolete and insignificant, when each pulse of his chest manifests itself through my legs, when I can't tell if the sweat is his or mine, and we move together as one. So why was it scary?
Because you don't see where you're going.
That's why he has partners.
It's just the idea of 2 people kind of fitting together. And some people say it's amoebas, they don't understand other people, you know, whatever you want. So this way it can be a flower. But the idea that 2 people can fit together and not necessarily because you're touching, but because you want to be together, right? This book is inspired by tango. So like tango, the dance, is a metaphor for life. And the idea of bringing something more to the table can be kind of confusing for women in the dance because a lot of times we talk about lead and follow. I'm driving around the United States, started in Seattle, going back to Seattle, and I'm promoting my book called When 1 + 1 = 1, inspired by tango, the dance. Anybody heard of that? Yeah. And how I understand people based on tango. So this poem I want to share with you guys comes from a section called Take Your Sweet Time. You ever wish somebody would take their time a little bit? Honey. Yes. Well, this isn't about that, but it is. Sometimes we move just to move because we don't know how to live the stillness. We keep running from one appointment to another. We dance sequence after sequence because we don't know how to stop. Because we don't know how to just be. So we do things to fill up time, we make jokes to fill the silences, and we speak empty words. See, we can get to a place that's empty, where the connection feels so fluid that it doesn't matter who needs what, but then we move together. Where my body and my partner's body are one. Where together we are one entity. Where my legs are his legs are mine, and we have one heartbeat between us. And even for just 3 minutes, we let go of our decisions to think about everything else. We let go of our fears, not knowing who's in charge. We put it together, we feel each other, we share our souls.
I mean, we talk about conversation and tango, but so often it tends to be one way where I get to lead stuff and then leave space maybe for embellishments. And I like when it really becomes two-way.